Okay, so we're still working on the box model here. We've done padding, borders, and now we need to do margins. If you look uh, on the sides of that box, there's margins. So let's see what happens when we add margins to our box model. Now, just a margin of 50 pixels. That gives us a margin on the top, right, bottom, left of 50 pixels. Now, you can't see the margin on the bottom. That's because there's only one element. So if we copy and paste our heading, so now we've got two headings, you'll see, okay, so there's a box, then there's a 50 pixel gap, and then there's another box. So we've got a margin all the way around our box of 50 pixels. Now, if we set a margin of 0 pixels, watch what happens. Look on the left there. It doesn't look like there's a margin of 0 pixels. It looks like there's a small margin. That's because the body, our whole website, actually has a margin in it as well. So if we wanted to have a true margin of 0, we'd have to go to our body and set our body to have a margin of 0. And padding of 0 as well. So when you look at that, that margin on the left and right disappears. Okay, so that's just a little aside there if you ever want a 0 margin. Okay, so we could do margin top, margin bottom, margin left, margin right, but that's really pretty boring. This guy gives it a crack here, but he can't spell, so he gives it up pretty quick. Rather than doing margin top, margin bottom, margin left, margin right, instead we can do what we did with padding, which is type in the four numbers, which is top, right, bottom, left. So you can see here, it looks like he's going to go for, yeah, he's just going to write it here now. Top, right, bottom, left. Let's put in some margins here. So a top margin of 10 pixels, a right margin of 30 pixels, a bottom margin of 60 pixels, and a left margin of 100 pixels. Very big. Okay, you can see all of our margins are different now. The top margin is very small, the right margin is smaller, the bottom margin is larger, and the left margin is really, really big. So, box model. Finishing off the box model, we're done now. Remember that all of your HTML elements sit inside boxes. And there are three elements to those boxes. Those elements are the padding, the thing between the element itself and its edges, the border, and also the margin, the distance between that element and the next element. All right, that's the box model.